Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of I clearly don't want to get to Legend this season, so I'm going to make really bad choices. Today, I am going to be using a really garbage IV Shadow Groudon in Great League. No one asked for this video, but I'm going to show it to you guys anyways. I thought it would be fun. Was it any good? No, absolutely not. This thing is terrible, but I managed to get a positive set with it. I might have gotten the positive set because my opponent lagged. It's still a positive set. Anyways, as you see on screen, this thing cost me 2 Elite Charge TMs. I had to Elite Charge TM Precipice Blades onto it and Fire Punch. So, this thing wasn't cheap. I also had to put in 120,000 Stardust for the second move. So I ended up putting in a lot of resources into a Pokemon that wasn't really worth it in the end. But I had fun, and I still have a lot of time to climb in the season if I want to reach Legend. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just trying to take my time and enjoy the battles while I can. Anyways, let's get into these games. I did pair the Groudon with Mantine lead and a Alolan Sandslash in the back. Up first, we're going to have a really nice lead of Whiscash into Mantine. Mantine absolutely walls Whiscash. My opponent is going to safe swap into a Shadow Gligar, and I am going to have the perfect answer for Shadow Gligar. I have that Alolan Sandslash. I'm going to bring it in, of course, and I'm just going to go for these Ice Punches against this Shadow Gligar. They are going to be double super effective, and one should be enough to take it out. Unfortunately, we do get baited with the first move. They go for an Aerial Ace. I shield that, and that's not good for us because I really need to save shields for Groudon, but it looks like we are both going to invest all of our shields in that matchup. I do win the matchup, and I maintain alignment onto the Whiscash with my Mantine, but I just have to hope that whatever my opponent has in the back, my Groudon can kind of handle. It looks like they are going to have a Skarmory in the back. At least I can reach the Fire Punch and go for a Fire Punch on the Skarmory and take out actually a lot of its health. That did like 60% of its health, which is really surprising. Skarmory is quite bulky, and that was just a Fire Punch, so I'm pretty happy with that. And now I am able to take the Skarmory out with an Ice Beam as well. I was really worried that wasn't going to KO, but then my opponent top lefts because all they have left is a Whiscash against our Mantine. GG's to our opponent. We are going to take that first win with Shadow Groudon. Up next, we are going to see an Altaria on the lead, and I technically have 2 answers to Altaria because Mantine has Ice Beam for it, and I have the Alolan Sandslash in the back for Altaria. But because we see the Altaria on the lead, I am going to assume that my opponent is going to have an Ice-type counter in the back. Now they go ahead and they shield our first Ice Beam. We are going to be able to reach another one, and we take both of their shields. Now I'm just going to let my Mantine go here, but actually I am able to reach another Ice Beam, but they catch it on a Vigoroth, and I'm not going to be able to bring Alolan Sandslash into Vigoroth because it is going to be taking a lot of damage from the counters. So I kind of have to bring in Groudon here. I go ahead and I shield the Body Slam, and then I go for a Precipice Blades on the Vigoroth, and my opponent still has a really healthy Altaria in the back, so they are going to be able to bring it in here against their Groudon, take Groudon out, and then I'm going to bring my Alolan Sandslash in against the Altaria. They immediately swap into a Whiscash. This is not looking good for us. I only have 1 shield left. I'm going to go ahead and shield whatever this is here. It is a Mud Bomb, and because my Alolan Sandslash is not Shadow, I should be able to tank a Mud Bomb from the Whiscash, so they go for another one, and then I'm just going to go for a Drill Run here, farming up as much energy as I can, and I was really hoping this Drill Run would take the Whiscash out. I was so unsure, but it does. We're able to KO the Whiscash, and then we can go for an Ice Punch on the Altaria, and I cannot believe that we actually won that, but we take that win. Moving on to the next battle, we are going to see a Pelipper. Really bad for Groudon if this aligns with the Groudon, but it is going to be aligned to our Mantine, and Mantine is going to be able to spam out the Aerial Aces against his Pelipper. Now I have Groudon in the back, so I really don't want to invest any shields, but my opponent doesn't know that, so they go ahead and they bait with a Weather Ball. I no shield a Weather Ball, which is really good for us. I'm going to be able to go for another Aerial Ace on the Pelipper and take a shield from them, and then I just let my Mantine go here. Now, here's the bad thing. If my opponent has a fighter in the back, this could be really bad for my backline because Groudon and Alolan Sandslash are not really going to be able to handle fighters that well. And it looks like my opponent is going to have an Annihilate in the back. They also have a Lickitung in the back, so they're going to be able to outbulk us. We do manage to land a Precipice Blades on the Lickitung, however, but it is not enough to take it out. We get it in the red, but there's not much we can do here. The Annihilate is still very healthy. They are going to be able to come in and just counter us down, so I'm going to go ahead and top left. I really should have saved the Mantine there. The next lead we're going to see is a Lickitung. Now, the entire team doesn't really perform that well against Lickitung. Mantine is really the only answer I have for it, and it is going to be able to spam out Body Slams and Power Whips against our Mantine. I'm just going to let whatever this is go. It is a Body Slam, and then I swap into Groudon for some weird reason. I am able to reach the Precipice Blades before my opponent decides to throw a move, and they let it go. We're able to take the Lickitung out, and then my opponent brings in an Annihilate. This is actually really good that we're seeing the Annihilate here. We're able to reach a Fire Punch, and it lands on the Annihilate. It does a lot of damage, and then I can bring Mantine in against the Annihilate and align it to that. And my opponent, it looks like, is going to have a Wigglytuff in the back. This is going to get a little bit tricky. I'm going to bring my Alolan Sandslash in. I was switch locked a little bit with the Mantine in against this Wigglytuff, so unfortunately, they were able to get our Mantine into the red, and that is not going to be good for us if I want to win the matchup against the Annihilate. Now, it looks like my opponent is just going to let their Wigglytuff go. They go ahead and they no-shield both Ice Punches. We're able to take them out, and then we even have enough energy for an Ice Punch for the Annihilate. We take a shield from them, but at this point, I think I should just commit to a full Wing Attack down. I have 2 shields left for my Mantine. However, my opponent gets a boost on the Night Slash, but they get the glitch where the fast move goes a lot slower. So unfortunately for my opponent, I am going to win that because they get a glitch, or they get some lag there. You guys know that glitch where your 2-turn fast move starts to look like a 3-turn move? I think that's what happened there because my opponent should have been able to take us out with the counters, especially since they were boosted. So GG's to our opponent. Unfortunately, stuff like that happens sometimes. Now, in the next match, I decide to do something really dumb, and I swap Groudon into a Cresselia. Cresselia has Grass Knot. Not only that, Cresselia is super tanky, and they're able to outpace to the Grass Knots. So I don't know why I did this, but I do manage to draw out a Whiscash. So at least the Whiscash isn't going to be aligned to our Alolan Sandslash, right? At least there's a bright side to this. Also, I do manage to take both of my opponent's shields with the Precipice Blades because I reached 2 of those moves on the Whiscash. They go ahead and they double shield. We also double shield, but whatever. At least we're able to take their shields from them. And now I am going to bring Mantine in against this Whiscash, go for an Aerial Ace. I need 2 moves to take it out. However, my opponent is not going to stay in that matchup. They bring the Cresselia back in, and this might be good for us because now we have the Alolan Sandslash aligned to the Cresselia, but they have Future Sight, and the Future Sights are going to hurt, unfortunately. Now, I want to try to leave this matchup with as much energy as I can on my Alolan Sandslash, so I think I'm going to attempt to farm the Cresselia down here. I noticed that they were going to reach another move, so I went ahead and I threw the Ice Punch, and now I should have a Drill Run for the Whiscash, really hoping that this takes it out. It does! We're able to take the Whiscash out, and my opponent is going to have a Skarmory in the back. Unfortunately, my Mantine is not going to have enough health left on it to take the Skarmory out. We do manage to reach 2 Ice Beams on the Skarmory, however, but they are going to reach a Sky Attack here, and also I'm not going to be able to reach a move on my Alolan Sandslash to take the Skarmory out, so unfortunately we are going to take a loss there, but still that was a positive set with Shadow Groudon in Great League. By the way, don't mind my elo, I was experimenting with some not so meta Pokemon in GBL. I guess I ended up having too much fun and I dropped a bunch of points. But anyways, I am going to try one more game with Shadow Groudon. Now, I thought I would swap the Alolan Sandslash for some reason, even though the team I felt like was pretty balanced. I wanted to take Alolan Sandslash out and have something that would be, or that would take neutral from fighters. That way, if my opponent had the fighter in the back, I wasn't just going to be, you know, hopeless. So, for some reason, I put Whiscash on the team because it has a little bit more bulk, and also I was noticing that I wasn't seeing a lot of grass types. Okay? I didn't see any grass types in my previous set. Anyways, the first lead we're going to see is going to be terrible. It is going to be Lantern, and oh no, we are going to face a superior swap in. We swap our Groudon, at least we're going to be able to reach 2 fire punches on the superior. For some reason, my opponent let me reach the second one. We're able to take a shield from them, and I'm just going to let my Groudon go here because I didn't think that I could reach another fire punch, or at least I would have to invest a second shield if I wanted to reach it. I didn't want to do that, so I let Groudon go, and I'm thinking, you know, I got the superior out of the way. There's no way my opponent is going to have another grass type in the back, so hopefully Whiscash with 2 shields can sweep. But nope, it looks like they are going to have a Whimsicott, and I am absolutely going to get destroyed. If I had Blizzard, I might have been able to win this game. But, you know, no one runs Blizzard on Whiscash anymore. I have no reason to run it, and I'd have to give up either Scald or Mud Bomb if I wanted to run Blizzard. So yeah, I'm just going to get absolutely wrecked by this Whimsicott. Unfortunately for us, we are going to lose this game. I did manage to bank a move on my Whiscash and then swap into Mantine and Aerial Ace the Whimsicott. I'm just trying whatever I can here to save the game. But even though I have that Mud Bomb on my Whiscash, I had 2 Mud Bombs. We are going to CMP tie here. That means my opponent is going to be able to throw the Surf before I can throw my second Mud Bomb. So I'm not going to be able to take the Lantern out, unfortunately. So at this point, I decided, you know what, that's enough using Groudon in Great League. I got my positive set. I had my fun. Let's try to salvage our elo, or let's try to save the set at least. The set is still savable. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like my content, please consider subscribing, maybe leave a like. It helps me out so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!